Welcome back to the channel, lads. My name is Coach Christian, and this is the BetterMan YouTube channel. If you haven't already, click subscribe, click like, click notification bell, all that good stuff. And without further ado, let's get straight into it. So today I want to talk about shame. Dun dun dun! And the lack of shame that we are currently dealing with in modern society. Because of the feminization of the culture, and because women don't perceive shame in the same way that men do. For survival's sake, women actually can override shame. We see this in the modern culture demonstrated through things like OF, and we've seen the erosion of shame through the female empowerment movement, through feminism. In order for women to justify their newfound form of expression, their sexuality, the loophole in order for that to happen has been to remove shame. It could be an overreach, it could be a counterflip from periods of over-shaming for women, where they are now rejecting that on all levels. But the problem with that is that it ultimately doesn't serve women. Now, for you men and for us men, shame is actually something to be harnessed and to be used as a benchmark of your own integrity. Think of it this way. If you're dealing with a person that has no shame, it means they have no moral compass whatsoever. And that is not good for a cohesive society. When we think about shame through the context of things like religion and morality itself, shame has always been used as a social structure around why it is not good to do certain things. Historically, shame and morality have always gone hand in hand. It is the guardrails of culture. When you remove masculinity and you remove shame, you get moralized prostitution through the lens of empowerment. That's how you end up there. So as men, we, as free men, you use shame on a level to impose structure around you so that you don't go off and do mad stuff that isn't contributing to the growth of yourself and the people in your life. Now, obviously, there's going to be some subjective nature to this because you're going to be creating your own structure and morality and values if you are breaking out of the conformity and the herd mentality. You have to be the master of your own conviction, including what I will call good shame, just for the sake of argument, to give you that imposed guardrails. Like anything, any medicine that is beneficial to you can be overused and become a poison. It almost goes without saying that. It's all about finding the balance. What I would say is that if you are struggling with shame, I would listen to it rather than ignore it. I think a lot of the time in modern culture, because we've created this vacuum where, especially a lot of the liberal, secular communities have rejected shame on the basis of it being so associated with religion, that they looked at that and went, it's the shame that's oppressive, so let's get rid of it. But as men, as honorable men, as men that live by standards and boundaries and values, you need shame to keep that in order. That is the masculine way. If you are doing things and you feel that sense of hiding, because just to define shame as opposed to guilt, for example, shame is the sense that you are bad. You're behaving in a way that is bad. Whereas guilt is you did something bad, right? You stole something and you're guilty of that act. Whereas shame is the feeling that your behavior is not in alignment with your morality. And if your behavior is not in alignment with your reality, shame is operating correctly. The difference here with how I want to teach it to you is to allow it, welcome it, don't moralize it, paradoxically, just observe what it is. Shame is already doing its thing. You don't need to add any additional story to the shame. It's sort of like when you feel sad, you don't need to know why you feel sad. You just need to feel sad, and you know exactly what to do with that. Your body knows what to do. Maybe you're crying, maybe you're just quiet, and you have this sense of pain. That's all you need. You don't need to add any additional addendums to the story or the feeling. Most feelings in the human experience, in fact, all feelings in the human experience are somatic. They're in the body and they're feeling based, right? That's the whole point of it. You don't have to moralize it any further than what the feeling naturally delivers. Same with happiness. When people are happy, they just feel happy. They're good and that evokes and seeps into their daily life. They bring that into the world as an energy, and that is the same with shame, except for shame is not needing to be celebrated externally. It just needs to be witnessed by the receiver of the shame, looked at. Why do I feel this shame? Where am I acting that is making me come up with this shame? You also have to be able to look at where shame is occurring in your life where it's not needed. For example, if you have a lot of shame around sexuality, around sex, when it comes to actual sex, when you're with a girl, intimacy, and there's some sort of darkness associated with the act of making love, for example, being with a woman, that needs to be looked at by you, and it needs to be exposed as to where that's really coming from. That may root down into something darker, something that has trauma around it, for example, and something that you have to process in order to let go of. I don't want men lost in the source of analysis paralysis. We don't do what women do, which is use their past, use their trauma as a justification for their erratic behavior or behavior in any way. That's what women do. What men do is we take inventory of why it is the way we are, get to the bottom of it, understand it, process it, and let it go and move on. You don't need to carry that around with you forever. But if you're experiencing shame based off of what you've been up to in your life, and maybe you're doing things in secret that you're not proud of, that is all you need to know. Why are you not proud of it? And if you're not proud of it, the shame is guiding you correctly into a sensation, which is, I don't want to feel shame. What am I doing? Why am I doing that? I don't want to be looking at porn anymore. I don't want to be over drinking. I don't want to be using people. I don't want to be out of honor with myself. Whatever it is, you are the king of yourself, okay? Men are the kings of themselves. We are self-crowned. I used to run a lot in the morning. It was about a year ago when I was doing a lot of really early morning runs, and I was going through a lot of pain at the time, and I was doing a lot of processing of things that had been occurring in my life in the moment and also historically. And I remember when I would run, I would say to myself, I'm the king, I crown myself. I am the king, I crown myself. I am a king, but I crown myself. And that's the difference. You're not waiting for other people to validate you. You're not waiting for someone to come and save you, or someone to just go, hey man, you're great just the way you are. None of that is the masculine way. You have to get strength to proclaim yourself the king of your own mind, of your own consciousness. And when you do that, when you're alone, no one around, you don't seem to be offering much value in the world. And if you can get up and tell yourself that, then that is where you start building on the building blocks of your own reboot, your own empowerment, your own reclaiming of what's naturally yours, which is masculine energy, masculinity. Every man is masculine in the end. That is your natural state. And if you've skewed across the spectrum of energies into more feminine energy, you've gone astray. And that's okay. It happens to a lot of men, but you've got to bring yourself back to masculine, because that is where you are. That is the reality. You are a man. And we as men have to start showing up again. We have to reclaim that, step back into our grounded masculine, our leadership, stop submitting to the feminization of the culture, stand for what we believe in, not sit on the fence, not be passive, but be active members of society offering value. And if we can use shame to our advantage, we harness that shame and light up the path of what needs to be cleared out, what needs to be changed, adjusted, worked on, then fucking bring it on. Bring the shame on. It's an internal job. It's an inside job. You certainly don't reveal this to women. You don't consult women with it. You don't bring that shame anywhere other than either trusted confidants, communities of brothers that you are aligned with, and ultimately, as Marcus Aurelius says, your own self-counsel. That's the whole principle around the self-crowned king, is that at the end of the day, you can have advisors, you can listen to me, you can get support from me and the men inside the BetterMan Academy, but at the end of the day, you have to execute the decision, like the president. The president has advisors, but at the end of the day, he must decide for himself what he's going to do. And that is your role as a man. And so use shame as one of your advisors. Use it to guide you back into alignment, into honor, and into masculine conviction, leadership, strength, and all that good stuff. If what I'm saying is resonating with you, if it's hitting home, and you want to go deeper with me and you're looking for support from me and also at this point over 1,400 other men, then you should click up here and watch my video on how to reboot your masculinity and how to reclaim your value. Check that video out next. It goes into all of the details of my system that I've been building around rebooting men all over the world and getting them back online, reclaiming their value. I'm going to leave it there for today, lads. Hope you found that one interesting, and remember to follow me on Instagram and TikTok, all the same username, betterman.advice, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell on your way out. Appreciate you all, appreciate all the support, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.